is a small island, about a mile long, just off the coast of Mull, and we're in view of Iona. And the island began to be inhabited. It's been inhabited for a long time, but the biggest habitation was in the 19th century, when it was a station for 2 lighthouses, one of which was built from the rock on Erraid. There's a big quarry here, an old disused quarry, and the rock was...
So it's quite remote, but also quite accessible because we're next to Iona, so people who make pilgrimage to Iona can just nip across. We're not far from there, so it's quite a busy route to there, and we're just off that route. And we're part of the Findhorn Foundation, which is a spiritual or intentional community and charity based in Findhorn, but we're a branch of that.
The more people in there, the more people working together, that's great. But of course other people, someone's got to cook, someone's got to do the wood, someone's got to do the boat. Yeah. So yeah, it's a nice struggle, so you have to be very honest and very open and understanding, compassionate, to make sure everything works, because all the jobs are equally important.
It's about the community, like living together closely with other people, living and working together. It's also about living close to the, well, on an island surrounded by sea most of the time, about living with tides and winds and the weather and all those things that dictate how you run your life, how you manage your life. It's also about growing, producing our own food as much as we can, and working with nature to do that, using the seaweed and the manure from the animals.
And the island is actually owned by a family who lease it to the Findhorn Foundation for 11 months of the year, and they come back for a holiday and have it for a month. So we get it rent free as such, but we have to do maintenance and generally maintain the place, and accept guests to come and share an experience here of community or of whatever they find, to be honest, of wilderness, of, you know, maybe come and find their own experience here. And that's what we do. We provide a place for people to come and do that, and carrots.
Well, certainly we like the idea that it was just a sustainable community, so trying to do as much growing of their own vegetables and fruit, and lots of recycling, energy awareness, compost toilets, which of course have their good points and bad points, a respect for nature really, and a respect for family life and work-play ethics, so you're just not on the treadmill all the time. You know, back home it was just work, and then collapse at the weekend, so that was nice. And just to realise what's important, what's your priority in life.
Yeah, it's still hard. I mean, it's really hard to say what Erraid is. It's more a feeling, I think, than anything else. It's a feeling, a lifestyle, a life. I don't know. It's really hard to put it into words. I mean, for me personally, it's just making a lot of sense. It's a way of life which makes sense to me, and I feel so much closer to nature than I ever did before in my life.
I love the cave. There's this awesome cave here called Hanging Rock Cave, and there's this giant rock in between 2 cliffs, and it's stuck, and it just, I don't know, then it's like a sheer drop, like several hundred feet, and I don't know, it's powerful to look down and be like, whoa. So just, I guess, the beauty, the nature, the large structures of nature on this island, and yet it's walkability because it's only 1 square mile.
The wilderness, and to live as part of nature, and to go to school on a boat, and to see otter prints on the way to school, and to go to the beach whenever they can, and to go swimming in the sea, and yeah, it's a lot about the children, their experience, seeing where food comes from, seeing that eggs come from chickens and milk comes from cows, and the lamb we had for dinner yesterday was a lamb they might have seen on the island, and where vegetables come from and fruit, and yeah, to be able to be a minority actually, when mostly they see, most of the living things they see are wild creatures rather than other people.
Living this really simple lifestyle and not having all these shops around and things to buy and things you need, and yeah, because you realize here it's just not important. I mean, often it happens when I go back to Germany and see my parents that I buy a lot of stuff because it feels like, ooh, I could need that and I could need that, and then every time I pack this immense box and I send it back to Erraid, and even doing it, I know I won't need it. So every time I pack this box, I send this box here, and I never use it, anything which I put in there, really rarely. So all these boxes are just piling up in my room. So yeah, there's nothing you really need, materialistic things, and it's also, yeah, I think it's not one thing you can say what Erraid is about. I don't know. Yeah, it's a feeling.